Welcome back, friends. iRelät here with two Reddit relationship stories from young guys in their late teens seeking advice about some women they're dealing with that are absolutely terrible for them. So in this first story, this guy and his girlfriend are both 19 and he says, "Firstly, I want to start off by saying I love my girlfriend to absolute bits." Okay, that says something right there. I'm not sure about this guy, but it's only been 6 or 7 months so far, but whenever we're together, we have so much fun. We spend so much time together, our bedroom life is amazing, and apart from minor arguments that every couple has, we've never had any problems and are able to get through a lot of things together. We have each other's location and we call every night. We text whenever we aren't calling. She's always telling me how perfect I am, how she's so happy and lucky she met me, how much she trusts me, and how I'm her soulmate. Okay, let me just say real quick that this isn't always the case, but oftentimes when someone's telling you how perfect and amazing you are, they're usually overcompensating for something, but that might not be what we're dealing with here, but let's see where this goes. He says, if I ever needed it, she would lend me money. She would buy me expensive gifts. She would be there for me when I really needed her, and honestly, she's been an amazing girlfriend. I couldn't ask for more, but the fact is, she hasn't been 100% honest with me. Yeah, who didn't see that coming? I would like to add, I know I shouldn't have been looking through her phone, but we had an unwritten rule where we could look through each other's phones. My Face ID is even on her phone, so I can unlock it whenever I want to. Additionally, prior to this, I had never looked through her phone before because I trust her. Yeah, what did I say? Every time they're telling you that you're amazing and you're perfect for them, typically they're saying and doing all this to strongly convince you that they'd never do whatever it is he's about to find out in this phone. He says, recently an old friend of hers, she knew him before me, tried to ask her out for a dinner date. Obviously, that's incredibly disrespectful, and she even had that same outlook herself. So after she spoke to him and obviously told him no, I asked her to block him as I wasn't happy with her having him still added. Obviously told him no? Yeah, watch, we're gonna find out that she didn't in fact tell him no, or she did in front of her boyfriend only to say yes behind his back. So he continues, long story short, she didn't block him. Then a few days ago, he texts her again. It's nothing major, and she even told me and showed me their text, so I was like, cool, then moved on. Bro, these situations are just way too easy to predict and call out. He says, yesterday she was napping, and my gut was screaming at me to check their chats from today, so I did. In their chats, they're making jokes to each other. These jokes are about having makeup you-know-what, and the size of his you-know-what. She even calls it big in quotation marks. The thing is, when I met her, she told me she still had her V card and that when she was with me, it was for the very first time. She said that it hurt, so I believe that she had her V card before she met me, unless she was just lying. Yeah, she was. Regarding the jokes about his size, she told me that their relationship was purely friends only and that he was like a brother to her. Yeah, I say this all the time, I've said this in other videos, they always try to downplay how strong of a relationship they have with these guys who continue to be in their lives after they're with you. They make claims like this girl did, oh, he's like a brother to me, and they completely downplay what their history is with this person so that you're not uncomfortable or you don't catch on to the fact that they're actually doing things behind your back. And based on just what we've heard so far, it's pretty obvious that this girl is completely manipulating you and you need to just let her go. He goes on, she said that she had never seen him in a romantic type of way before, but if that's true, I'm not sure how she would be aware of how big he is. What should I do? My friend, she absolutely has seen him that way. I'm sure she's seen him many ways. On top, through a mirror, from behind. She's clearly lying about all of this and manipulating you, and what you need to do is just drop her. You're only 19, you'll be fine. He says, also, roughly a month or two before she met me, she had a talking stage with a guy which led to nothing. She told me the most she'd ever done with him was smooch and that's it. Obviously, now I'm questioning whether that's true or not as well. And she told me that she had him blocked, but when I was looking through her phone, I see that they had spoke 2 days ago. What should I do? Again, as predicted from the very beginning of this, she's completely love bombing you and trying to make you think that she would never do these things. She's lying about all of this. She's getting attention from multiple other guys. She's claiming she's blocking them, even if she shows you that she blocked them, like I've said in other videos. That doesn't mean that she actually blocked them. It just means that she's showing you and telling you what she wants you to see, hear, and think so that you won't be onto her and she can continue to do whatever she wants behind your back but still get your attention. What you should do is just realize this is not a good person and be done. He says, I so badly want to bring it up to her. It's affecting me so much. I've slept 2 hours since finding out that information and honestly it infuriates me. Yeah, as it should. I love this girl so much and always try my best to do good for her. So why is she doing this? Because she's selfish and she doesn't love you and you shouldn't love her, nor do I believe you actually do. It's been 6 months, come on. I'm usually a calm, composed person, but this is too far and I'm tired of being treated like a pushover. Like I said, I know I shouldn't have been snooping, but they do say trust your gut and my gut was right. Yeah, again, like I've said in other videos, I don't buy into the whole you shouldn't be snooping thing. Why shouldn't you be snooping? I would have no problem with my significant other searching through my phone because I know I'm never up to anything, other than the fact that she's just an insecure nut and she's constantly accusing me of things and looking through there because she's just wacky. I mean, that's another story. But if from time to time my girl felt the need to look through my phone just to feel secure that I wasn't up to something, I would have no problem with it because I'm not doing anything, and I wouldn't feel guilty about going through her phone if I felt the need, if I had a gut feeling like this guy had, because again, if two people are being faithful to one another, there's no reason why both of them couldn't look through each other's phones at any time, any day. So to this kid and anybody else out there who has this idea of, oh, I shouldn't have been snooping, it's like, no. Absolutely, if you have a gut feeling like him, just like he said, he was right, and he had every right to go looking to find out if he was in fact correct, and it's a good thing he did because now he knows he can get away from this person, which he wouldn't have known otherwise. So finally, this guy says, what should I do and how should I do it? Someone please help me. This has been on my mind since the second I found out, and I would so greatly appreciate any input from you all. Thank you. Yeah, I've pretty much said all there is to say. Unfortunately, this is another one of those guys who had a girl who was completely manipulating him. She was going above and beyond to convince him that they were meant to be, that there were soulmates, when in reality it was all just games and she was playing with his head from the start. And so to this specific guy, all I can say is, my friend, you're only 19. I know 7 months seems like a long time, but in the long run, it's really not. This relationship is pretty short term and you can easily move along now unscathed. You continue to be with this person, you continue to buy into her lies, which I don't know why you would. It's obvious that she's been completely terrible this whole time. But if you choose to do that, you're only going to be more mentally unstable later on. You already mentioned how you're a pretty balanced, well-adjusted person, but this is rocking your world and sort of messing with you mentally. Think about how much worse you'll be off mentally if you let this continue for months or years, because this is what unfortunately happens to a lot of young men and women, is they start out as fairly balanced, well-adjusted people. But then they get in relationships like this, where someone completely lies to them, manipulates them, and messes with their head. And if they let it go on too long, then unfortunately, by the time the relationship does end, they have this permanent damage that they carry on to future relationships with possibly good people who would never do this kind of thing. But because they've already experienced this, they're constantly suspicious and driving themselves crazy, even in those good relationships, which ultimately end up failing as a result of these things they experienced in the past. So for your own mental health and for the sake of your future and your happiness in other relationships with decent women, get away from this person now, move on, and that's all I can say. But what do you all think about this situation? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Click like and subscribe if you haven't already, and we got another story coming up here. So they're both 18, and he says, we've been together officially for a couple of months, and we were talking for a couple before that. Getting into this relationship, I somewhat knew this girl's past. She had plenty of partners between the ages of 16 and now. The most was 6 in a year. 6 in a year? Oh my Lord. And she's only 18? Oh my god. This chick is in the double digits already. I mean, what is going on with Gen Z? Say no more, my friend, and run. Run now. But anyway, he continues, I didn't think this would bother me until it did recently. Our relationship has been very healthy up until this point. This is not a healthy person and your relationship can't possibly be healthy. Long story short, I saw text messages with her to another guy talking about having a 3-person encounter, and she suggested a 4-person encounter. It didn't happen because as of the last text, my girlfriend and her friend had to leave early, but these messages were about a month before me and her were officially dating. So wait, a month before you were officially dating, was that during this whole 2-month talking phase? So while she's considering a relationship with you, she's over here having conversations about group action with 3 other guys? This does not sound good, my friend. These are major red flags. He says, I saw over 30 photos of her with other guys in hidden camera roll. Pictures of them smooching and snuggling and that sort of thing. However, all of the photos were from her past. It hurts me pretty bad. I've only had one girlfriend before her, and to be honest, I haven't actually even talked to any other girls but them. I wouldn't say I'm insecure, definitely a little jealous and in a lot of pain. I don't know what to do or how to handle this, but I can't stop thinking about it. I know it was before we were dating, so she didn't really do anything wrong and wasn't unloyal, but just the photos and texts made me really question the quality of character and her self-respect. Yeah, the way that you're feeling about this situation is absolutely normal, and society wants to say that we shouldn't shame people who behave like your girlfriend, when the reality is this behavior absolutely should be shamed. Now, the only reason I would hesitate to come down on her too harshly is because typically women who act like this at this age had some sort of trauma from their past that's causing them to exhibit this type of behavior. So we should probably have empathy for this person, but that doesn't mean that you should take her seriously in a relationship. Unfortunately, she has a problem, and you don't need to make her problem your problem. Because I guarantee you, if you do, it's going to be a bigger problem for you than it even is for her. You're going to be the one who gets destroyed mentally somewhere down the road when she does something terrible to you because she can't get enough attention from men. And while you're sitting there feeling horrible about the situation in yourself, she's going to be off getting attention from another guy or multiple other guys anyway. And as for what you said about having only been with her and one other girl, that doesn't mean you can't easily move on and find somebody better. What happens to a lot of young men is they feel compelled to stay in a bad relationship with a person that's not good for them solely out of desperation because they don't feel they can get anyone better if they try to move on. And this is because for a lot of young men, it's hard to get the attention from any girl, so once you get one locked down, you feel like you want to keep her and you don't want to let her go. And that's absolutely a terrible mentality to have because it's what causes the downfall of many men. The way this kid is thinking, although he doesn't seem to completely realize it yet, is actually the right mentality where he understands this person isn't good for him. He's sensing that there's something wrong with her, there's something off that makes him uncomfortable. And this is the point where a lot of young men go wrong, because if you're smart enough to actually have that feeling that he's having where he knows something's not right here, he knows this isn't going to be good, most men or many men will just ignore that and continue to go with this girl anyway, usually, like I said, out of desperation. But what this kid needs to do is listen to that inner voice that's telling him to walk away from this and just move on. But anyway, he continues, "It really hurts. I really like her, but I don't know what to do. I thought I could handle her past, but now I'm not sure. I know people will say that it's in the past and it doesn't matter anymore and I should forgive and forget. But to me, our past is what makes us who we are." Yeah, that's a very insightful thing for a guy your age to say. It's absolutely true. He says, "I'm stuck. I don't know how to deal with the situation. Should I talk to her about it? Should I tell her how I feel? I don't want to come off as insecure and jealous. I don't see how me talking about it with her would help in any way and change anything." Yeah, unfortunately, society wants to shame men like him and make them feel like they're insecure for not wanting to deal with a girl who has this kind of past. They want to make him feel like he's the problem, but the reality is she's the one with the problems. Most likely, she needs therapy for whatever she went through that led her to being this kind of person who's had over a dozen partners before she's 18. And if he doesn't make the right choice to get away from her now, then there's a good chance in the future he's going to need therapy too. Most of the time, the past isn't just the past. It often represents who that person is in the present and can make very accurate predictions about the future. So you, my friend, are not insecure for feeling this way. It's absolutely normal and acceptable for you to want to be with someone who doesn't exhibit this type of behavior. And if I were in your position, I absolutely would find someone else, but my method for going about breaking up with her wouldn't be to even bring any of these issues up. I would simply just find a way to break up with her for other reasons, not even mention it. If you do want to mention it, maybe for her sake, you should suggest that she gets therapy or try to talk to her about why she's this kind of person, why she has these problems where she feels the need to constantly get attention from so many men. But if you think that would be an uncomfortable conversation that you don't want to have, then just find another reason to break things off, don't tell her why, and move on. Something tells me she's not going to have a problem moving on. But that's all I got to say about this situation. What do you all think about this one? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Click like and subscribe if you haven't already. Share this video with someone you think needs to hear it, and check out my main channel for more life and relationship based content. Till then, hope you all take care of yourselves, support and be good to good women. Peace.